Is Mortal Kombat 2 worth your money? Let's find out. This movie has great gore, dumb fun, and enough fan service to keep longtime fans entertained. But somehow, in a movie no one comes to for the story, Hollywood still manages to screw it up so badly that it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth by the end. Now, I've been a Mortal Kombat fan since childhood. My mum used to drop me off at the original arcade machine while she grocery shopped, and Mortal Kombat 2 was actually the first video game I ever bought. I love the original 90s movie too, and I'll never forget being 10 years old at my first ever movie marathon, rewatching the original Mortal Kombat movie before seeing the Annihilation premiere at midnight, and even at 10 years old, immediately realizing this is trash. Thankfully, Mortal Kombat 2 is definitely better than Annihilation. Let's start with the good. The gore is great. The finishing moments are brutal and fun, and if that's all you want to see, you'll enjoy it enough. Kano is still the best character in this franchise by a mile. Every time he's on screen, which unfortunately isn't much, the movie suddenly wakes up. And Johnny Cage is surprisingly solid here too. Though, I'm not gonna lie, I still wish they'd cast Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's 65 now, but I still bet he could have pulled it off hilariously with a few stunt doubles. I mean, they made the character here an aged, washed up has-been anyway, and the character was originally based off him, so why not just go all in? Instead, we just get the guy from The Boys, who's fine in the role, but is still just the guy from The Boys. Now, the sets look good in a fake video game CGI way. The costumes look good, better than Annihilation at least, and there are tons of member berries for longtime fans. But before we even get to the story, here's where it fails the most, and it's the one thing it had absolutely no excuse to get wrong. This movie is based on a fighting game. The fights are the whole point. But here, half the fights are either full of obvious stunt pauses where the actors stand still waiting to get hit or for the other actor to catch up, or the camera shakes so wildly you can barely tell what's happening, Jason Bourne style. How did Hollywood go backwards with martial art movies? They mastered this stuff decades ago with every Jet Li movie, Jackie Chan movie, we had Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Matrix, even the first John Wick, and this is the best they can do now? How do you make a movie based on one of the most iconic fighting games ever created and not hire the absolute best choreographers and performers, especially with this kind of budget? It makes no sense. Maybe if the actors were so good, they just had to work around them, but the acting's terrible, so what's the excuse? And then there's a story. Thankfully, they sidelined Cole pretty hard because, let's be honest, nobody cared about that made-up character from the first reboot. Here, they split the story between the newly introduced Katana and Johnny Cage, with the other characters awkwardly thrown in as filler, even though we've spent a whole intro movie with them. Now, Johnny has done fine enough, and his scenes are thoroughly entertaining, but boy, do they do Katana dirty. Now, Katana was actually one of my favorite characters growing up, but here she gets the full modern Hollywood girl boss treatment. And the story for both lead characters, that they're amazing in every way and just have to believe in themselves. Ugh. And no joke, that's literally a line from the movie itself. At least Johnny has some struggle and gets beaten a couple of times, but Katana, oh, she has plot armor so thick, you know exactly how every interaction's going to end. And of course, because of that, any tension the movie tries to build up is utterly destroyed. This honestly feels like a pre-X-Men B-grade video game movie that somehow got handed a blockbuster budget. So, is Mortal Kombat 2 worth your money? Reluctantly, yeah. I mean, the gore is fun, Kano steals every scene he's in, the fan service works, and honestly, we're so starved for dumb fun escapism these days that right now, yeah, it's probably worth it. But that doesn't mean it's good. If you like these reviews and want to help the channel, there's a Ko-Fi link in the description. And as always, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.